Naked Lunch is a controversial novel written by William S. Burroughs and published in 1959. It is written in a non-linear fashion, with a series of loosely connected vignettes that explore drug addiction, homosexuality, and violence. The book was banned in several countries upon its release due to its graphic and explicit content. The novel has had a significant influence on the counterculture movement of the 1960s, with its dark and subversive themes inspiring artists such as David Bowie, Lou Reed, and Kurt Cobain. Its style and structure have also influenced postmodern literature. The novel features a wide cast of characters, many of whom are recurring throughout the book.
Native Son is a novel by Richard Wright, published in 1940. It tells the story of Bigger Thomas, a young African-American man living in poverty in Chicago's South Side in the 1930s. Bigger becomes involved in a series of criminal activities, leading to tragic consequences. The novel explores themes of race, poverty, and the impact of societal forces on individual lives. It was widely acclaimed for its powerful depiction of the harsh realities faced by African Americans in urban America, and it played a significant role in shaping the discussion around race relations in the United States. The novel's influence on the public was profound, as it was one of the first books to address the issue of racism in such a frank and unflinching manner. It was widely read and discussed, and it helped to bring issues of race and inequality to the forefront of public consciousness.
Neuromancer is a science fiction novel by William Gibson, published in 1984. It is the first novel in the Sprawl trilogy and is widely considered to be one of the most influential science fiction novels of all time. The novel is set in a dystopian future where technology has advanced to the point where people can connect their minds directly to computers, and where corporations wield enormous power. The story follows a washed-up hacker named Kesey, who is recruited by a mysterious employer to pull off a seemingly impossible hack. Along the way, he teams up with a street samurai named Molly, and together they navigate a dangerous web of corporate espionage, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality. Neuromancer had a significant influence on the science fiction genre, popularizing the subgenre of cyberpunk and inspiring numerous works of fiction, film, and video games. It also helped to popularize the idea of the internet and virtual reality, which were still relatively unknown concepts at the time of its publication.
Never Let Me Go is a science fiction novel by Kazuo Ishiguro, published in 2005. It is set in an alternate reality where human clones are created to provide organs for transplantation. The novel follows the lives of three clones, Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy, as they grow up in a secluded boarding school and come to terms with their predestined fate. The novel explores themes of identity, mortality, and the nature of humanity, and it has been praised for its emotional depth and hauntingly beautiful prose. It has won numerous awards and has been adapted into a critically acclaimed film. Never Let Me Go has had a significant influence on the public, sparking discussion and debate around issues of cloning, genetic engineering, and the ethics of organ transplantation. The novel has been widely read and discussed, and it has helped to bring these important issues to the forefront of public consciousness.
On the Road is a novel by Jack Kerouac, published in 1957. It is a semi-autobiographical work that chronicles the travels of Kerouac and his friends across the United States in the late 1940s and early 1950s. The novel is considered a defining work of the Beat generation, a group of writers and artists who rejected mainstream American culture and sought new forms of expression. The novel follows Sal Paradise, a writer based on Kerouac himself, and his friend Dean Moriarty, a charismatic and impulsive figure based on Kerouac's friend Neal Cassady. The two embark on a series of road trips across the country, meeting a variety of characters along the way and seeking to experience life to its fullest. On the Road has had a significant influence on American culture, inspiring a generation of writers and artists to explore new forms of expression and pushing boundaries of social norms. It has also been credited with helping to shape the counterculture movement of the 1960s.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a novel by Kesey, published in 1962. The story is set in a mental institution and is narrated by a patient named Chief Bromden. The protagonist of the story is Randall McMurphy, a charismatic and rebellious patient who enters the ward and challenges the authority of the oppressive nurse Ratched. The novel explores themes of conformity, power, and individuality, as McMurphy and the other patients struggle to maintain their sense of self in the face of the institution's oppressive rules and regulations. The novel has had a significant influence on American culture, particularly in its portrayal of mental illness and its critique of institutional power. It has been adapted into a successful stage play and a widely acclaimed film, and continues to be widely read and studied today.
Pale Fire is a novel by Vladimir Nabokov, published in 1962. The novel is presented in the form of a poem written by a fictional poet named John Shade, with commentary provided by his friend and colleague, Charles Kinbote. The poem and commentary are intertwined and contain multiple layers of meaning and interpretation. The novel explores themes of identity, creativity, and the nature of reality, as can Boat attempts to claim the poem as his own and create a mythology around Shade's life and work. The novel has been highly influential in the literary world and has been praised for its intricate structure and complex themes. It has been the subject of numerous critical studies and is considered one of Nabokov's most important works.
Play It As It Lays is a novel by Joan Didion, published in 1970. The novel is set in Hollywood and follows the story of Maria Wyeth, an actress who is struggling to make sense of her life and her place in the world. As Maria's mental health begins to deteriorate, the novel explores themes of identity, power, and the search for meaning in a world that seems meaningless. The novel is known for its spare, understated prose and its unflinching portrayal of the dark side of Hollywood and the American dream. Play It As It Lays has been highly influential in the literary world and is considered one of Didion's most important works. It has been praised for its sharp social commentary and its powerful exploration of the human psyche.
Portnoy's Complaint is a novel by Philip Roth, published in 1969. The novel is narrated by Alexander Portnoy, a young Jewish man from New Jersey who is in therapy and uses the sessions to recount his many sexual exploits and his troubled relationship with his family and his Jewish identity. The novel is known for its explicit and often controversial content, as well as its humorous and satirical tone. It explores themes of sexual repression, guilt, and the struggle to reconcile personal desires with societal expectations. Portnoy's Complaint was a commercial and critical success upon its publication and became a cultural phenomenon, sparking debates about censorship and the limits of free expression in literature.
Possession is a novel by A.S. Byatt, published in 1990. The novel is a multi-layered work of fiction that tells the story of two academics, Roland Michel and Maud Bailey, who become obsessed with the relationship between two Victorian poets, Randolph Henry Ashe and Christabel Lamotte. As Roland and Maud delve deeper into the lives and work of the poets, they uncover a series of letters that suggest a previously unknown romantic relationship between Ashe and Lamotte. Their discovery sets off a chain of events that involves literary scholarship, intellectual rivalry, and personal relationships. Possession has been widely acclaimed for its intricate storytelling, complex characters, and exploration of themes such as love, betrayal, and the nature of creativity. The novel won the Booker Prize in 1990 and has been adapted into a film and a stage play.